It's time to let you into a secret. I'm fat and I'm out of shape. Hello everyone, I'm Henry Higgins, and today we're doing a little video. It's a lot more personal than previous videos we've done, so I hope you stick with it, and thank you very much if you do. As I said in the introduction, I'm fat, and at the moment I'm out of shape. Now, I do try to be healthier, I do try to get myself in shape, but I always seem to give up once I start making any headway with it. So I'll start and I'll be like full of fire, full of energy, feel better, physically feel better in myself, feel healthier, have more energy, walk further without getting out of breath, that kind of thing. But once I start making some headway, I always seem to just stop. And it's a psychological thing. It's like I've decided I can take a break, and I do take a break, and then never go back. And I have a fair amount of self-loathing about that. The images you can see here have never been seen by anyone at all. This is the first time they're ever being made public, and they are pics of my very first attempt at DDP Yoga in 2016. As you can see here, I took a picture on day 1, and then pictures on week 1, week 4, week 6, week 7, week 9, week 10, and week 13. The reason there's some gaps in there is actually my son was the one taking the pictures, and for those who don't know, me and his mum divorced a couple of years ago, so he splits his time between us, and for the weekends that they were doing this that he missed, he was with his mother, he wasn't with me. So that's why week 5, week 8, week 11 and week 12 aren't there. But as you can see from if I put up day 1 and week 13 together, you see here, you can see there was some progress made. But then I stopped. And that's been the cycle ever since. Now, I did start again, numerous times over the years, repeating the same cycle, using a spreadsheet to plan the workout days. And this was my latest attempt. Started it on the 8th of August 2018. As you can see, it starts off great. No missed days for the first month. Then in November, I stopped. And then I resumed again in January 2019 for 3 days. 3 days. That was it. And that's been it ever since. I gave up then and haven't gone back to it since. Now, I have a condition called Perthes Disease, and what that means is the ball of when born and you're forming and everything else, the blood flow to the ball of the hip joint is impeded in some way, and it affected me mildly on my left hip and quite severely on my right hip. And wasn't really picked up because babies are so flexible. It wasn't really picked up until I was about 4 or 5 years old, at which point I was placed in calipers. I had double leg calipers for the first year and a half, I want to say, which basically meant my natural position was bow-leggedness, because the metal calipers went down, there was a metal bar across the middle of them. So my legs were always in the position like that. That when the left hip improved, I switched to a single caliper on the right leg, which had a spring mechanism, and it had a raised plate on the left foot, which was about this size. It looked like an old school iron, where it was the metal plate, maybe about this thick, and then bars going up onto the shoe. So I had a lift about 6 or 7 inches at the time. And the problem with that was, I was told by the doctors, by the physicians at the time, that the pediatrician, that I couldn't walk without them. And what they meant was I couldn't if I wanted to get better. Me being a child, I thought they were meaning I physically couldn't. And physically I could, but by doing so I was impeding my recovery. And so I was in those calipers from when I was 5 until I was 9. I had those calipers on. The day I got them off was a joyous day, because I was, at that time, once I'd got them off and recovered, I was 10 years old and I'd never ridden a bike. There were so many things I'd missed out on simply because I had these things, these calipers on my legs. And getting them off was such a great thing, but because of the way the Perthes disease work, the formation, especially say my right hip, the ball joint isn't a ball, it's very rough, it's almost square. So the actual motion is very, very limited. And one of the things it does is it hurts now and again, weather can sometimes affect it, but basically it means I don't have a full range of motion in my legs, especially my right. But when I was told that walking will be the best, the kind of prognosis was that walking without a stick would be the pinnacle of what I could achieve athletically. I didn't want to accept that, and it didn't stop me from fulfilling the childhood dream of becoming a professional wrestler. That was a very small time, it didn't make a big impact in wrestling. I was there at the beginning of the resurgence of the UK scene, starting with BCW back in 2001, 2002. With BCW, which eventually led to ICW, which is the promotion in Scotland, if not the UK at the moment. Some of the bigger names in the UK came through that era, and it didn't stop me doing it. And if you stay tuned at the end of the video, if you're interested, I'll put some little clips and pictures from across the years there. But the crux of it is, it didn't stop me doing that. It didn't stop me from doing something that I always wanted to do as a child, which was wrestle. And again, I was limited in what I could do, but I had fun, I had a blast doing it. I met a load of friends doing it, I have so many great experiences, and wouldn't trade that for the world. When it comes to yoga though, it seems that some of the positions are actually physically impossible. If you think of like an action figure, especially one of the older ones where they didn't have many points of articulation, you would stand them up and then you would lift the legs up. But they wouldn't come up like this, they would go up and go out. And that's what my legs are like. If you lift my legs up, they won't come up straight, they will open out. So if I'm lying perfectly horizontal, then yes, I can keep my legs together. But if you start to bend the hips upwards, like bringing the knees towards your chest, they automatically go out. Physically, I can have them pushed together, but that is incredibly painful. So with some of the yoga positions, it is that I can't do them. And sometimes I think that's disheartening, that when I'm trying to do one of the workouts from the DDP Yoga, that there's an exercise that, at least this point in time, my flexibility will not allow me to do such a position. But it is time to go again. And this time, I'm not going to quit. I'm not. So each week, there's going to be a video diary covering my progress on this new schedule. And I'm hoping that you will join me on this journey. I'm hoping that you will share your experiences of getting in better shape, and any obstacles that you've overcome, and any obstacles that you thought were insurmountable that you did overcome. I hope that this can inspire me to continue through everything. I'm hoping that this can inspire others who are in the same position, who feel that they can't do it or that it's beyond them, and I'm hoping that this can inspire them to do something like that as well. So as I said, I'm hoping you will join me on this journey. I'm hoping that you will follow me as I progress through the days and the weeks and the months. I'm hoping that it helps someone. I'm hoping that it helps me. And week to week, every weekend, there's going to be a video that chronicles the previous week's exercises, either through the DDP Yoga or on the alternate days when it's my own workout. And I hope to see you there. There are still going to be the unboxing videos, the movie reviews, the lists, the wrestling predictions, and whatever else we decide to throw at the channel. But this is also going to be a separate series on the channel. So as I said, I hope you join me on the journey, and we will have the first diary up next week. So I hope to see you there. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like and share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click the button for the notifications, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.